Hey there, welcome to Avian Games. Jack, no Chris today. Just me for the podcast. Figured I'd switch it up. One person podcast always seemed like a good idea. It's actually a pretty
What
new and original idea. Have you ever heard of a one person
are,
podcast before?
are you?
Sorry, my cat's in the background. He's talking.
Hey,
Um,
hey, 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 hey! The fuck you doing?
what?
You fucking! I heard you start this podcast.
What do you mean?
God damn it! I quit Avian Games.
Oh, that would be better. Honestly, it would be better for my life if that would happen. Anyways, so we're gonna do a little discussion today regarding five cards that Chris and I. Well, Chris has five cards. I have five cards, and we both kind of interpreted this. We talked about this idea, and then I think we both interpreted it a little differently. Chris came up with this certain idea, so I guess I just didn't fully understand when I went back and started looking for things. So I guess Chris, you explain what you did, and then I'll explain what I did.
So I picked five cards that are they're good, but they're like not good enough to be played, or there's just no deck that in the meta that would utilize them. And like later in the future, if another deck came out that could utilize them, they'd be like fucking busted good.
Okay, and so mine, I guess, could be somewhat similar to that. I think that mine could fall along those same lines, but mine were more like hidden gems that I think if you use them, you could use them right now and they would be helpful in some like rogue aspects, but like I guess they could get even more busted later. Because I never know what's going to come out. So it's a little bit
Yeah.
of what Chris was saying, but mine was more like these could definitely be used right now and you could really pop off, I think.
To
So
to be fair though, I do consider mine are good enough to also be, I feel like, hidden gems. You know what I mean?
sure. So it could be like a little
Just
bit of
like
both. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like
Kind of
mine aren't
somewhere
things
in
you
there.
see normally, and like if you saw it, it could be like, ah, shit, like I did not plan for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like little underrated cards, you
Yeah,
know?
sure. We can just call it
Yeah,
underrated cards, to be
yeah.
honest.
Whether it's now or in the future, whatever. You
So,
want you want to start off?
oh, you want me to kick it off? I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I can't kind of
yeah.
went with some easy ones. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like some people are gonna hear this and go, yeah, uh-huh. So I'll kick off a real generic one, and I think you definitely know this one.
Monster Reborn.
That was so underrated. No, no material. I
Ooh, that's a good one.
I
Good one.
totally forgot about this card, and when it came out, I was like, oh my god, I wish I could get my hands on that. And I still haven't bought any of them, but I definitely
Neither have I.
want three of them. I don't know why I haven't. So let me a little refresher. I'll put it on the screen too for when I edit the video. But if you're not watching the video, because we don't usually put anything on for these, if your opponent special summons a monster while you control no card, so kind of specific, you can discard this card. Then target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This turn, that monster cannot be tributed or used as material for a fusion, synchro, exeese, or link summon. You can only use the effect of no material once per turn. So I guess when I
Love
thought
that.
of, yeah, I think it's amazing. I mean, when I thought about it, I was like, oh man, my going second decks, I feel like this would be like a big disruption for like, I mean, I'm already running like going second card, so why not just throw in a going second hand trap? Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's really good. It's definitely not as good as Ash, but I think making your opponent stuck into a monster on their field that's probably just a generic card that they wanted to special summon is probably going to screw them over a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think it's only better than Ash in like certain matchups. You know what I mean? Like, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Ash is like obviously the best hand trap,
Hmm.
but like I think certain decks could be hit by no material harder than Ash. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think the restriction of no monsters in
No
the field is
cards.
going to be the problem. Like
Yeah.
it
No, I,
reminds me
I
of
agree with that.
what's that? What's the amazing Grenmaju hand trap, and you use it into something else too. A lot of people are running it for the banish one.
Oh, Dimension Shifter.
Oh yeah, D shifter like that. This D shifter reminds me a lot of this. Like you can't have anything uh in the graveyard to do D shifter, and like this, it's like no cards in the field. It's very lightning stormy, so you could
Yeah.
like. I feel like this would be a pretty cool going second hand trap to use. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. It's 479 on TCG.
Oh, really?
That's really not that bad for like three generic. No one's really going to expect you to do no material and bust it out, but
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Could you
Um,
imagine playing in a format where like no materials big, and you side in your no materials and you're like, hey, I'm gonna fuck my opponent, and then your opponent was like, okay, you start. You first.
Ah,
And then
damn
you're just
it.
like, "What?"
Yeah, it's like that's the hard part because like you put this in and your opponent, let's say they want to go second, like this is gonna probably suck. Like I don't,
Mhm.
and that's probably why it doesn't do well. But I can imagine a going second. So this was kind of going to your point, like if going second decks really start getting big in any part, like this would be a good card to like really start putting in, um,
Yeah.
or just putting in your side, anticipating, knowing that you want to go second, or like for the game two. But yeah, so that was my first one. So what do you got?
My first one is a card that we've referenced on the channel recently,
Oh, well, let me. I got ready to look
and
it up.
it is the classic
Classic.
Speedroid Fuki Madoshi Piper.
Oh my god.
I love this card. I think it's a great card that it basically just when you special summon it, you get to excavate cards. It's like a pot of duality, but for how many ever wins you control. But if we ever get a deck that's like only wind in the format, because it just locks you into wins. That's like its only downside.
Mm.
But kind of like the whole Speedroid package, you don't get locked into anything but wins, and then uh you get a free pot of duality off it, basically. You know what I mean? Or like a prosperity type thing, because you can get technically you can look at the top 5
Can you still
at
special
most.
summon?
Yeah, you're just locked into wins. That's the only thing that you get locked into when doing that. So as long as a win deck ever comes out, like I think that's a very like good card that would be
Wasn't
great.
wasn't there a wind deck that really just came out that was amazing?
Are you talking about Virtual World's Half Wind?
Oh, Virtual World.
Could that be what we're thinking about? That's
What is
Earth Wind.
Floowandereeze? Are they not wind?
That's wind again. It's wind and water.
Oh, a
But
little mix.
Wanderers actually locks you out of special summoning for the turn.
Oh, so I guess that would kind of be
Yeah,
useless.
you
Yeah.
have to normal summon with that. But if we ever just get fucking Avian Games meta, then yes.
Yeah, just Avian Games meta for sure. Oh, we should do a tournament that's just you can only use bird
Wing
like
Beast,
decks, wing beasts. Like
that'd be
that'd be
so
pretty
cool.
cool. Oh
It'd be
man,
shit, but
I'm
that'd be
sure it would
so
just be
cool.
Floowandereeze would be like the go to, wouldn't
Probably the best one, though. Who fucking knows? I'm sure we'd end up doing it, and some bullshit would fucking take it, Harpy or some shit.
it?
We'd be like,
Probably. What the fuck? I mean,
okay.
Wind stuff has some weird. It definitely has some text that it's like, "Ugh, this is annoying. I mean, of course,
It
it has
has, yeah,
barrier
it has really good
statue,
stuff.
stupid. They just
Yeah,
banned that some org card.
yeah, which fucking sucks dick. But you also get all the wind. You can do the Harpy trap,
Oh,
and then
that's so frustrating too.
you can make a Harpy link with the 2 winds, and can activate it from hand.
If you
Wind
watched our
does have good
last
stuff.
video,
I like wind a lot.
you would
Wind
see
is
that.
a good, yeah, that is true. Wind is a good attribute.
It's
It is not
definitely
lacking.
underrated. I mean,
Mm.
it's kind of like
Okay,
a
yeah, I take it back. Yeah, underrated. Good, but
underrated.
underrated.
I think light and dark are definitely the two most heavily.
Oh
I don't know. Earth has a lot too.
no, but I think light and dark are definitely the most though.
Probably, I think
Like,
fire gets the most abuse. I think. I don't think fire has nearly enough support probably
oh
for it.
God, no.
It's that
God, no.
there is no like fire, and then water probably is behind. Fire, water, and wind might be close.
Yeah, honestly, it's really just fire.
Yeah,
I
fire
think
just
light and dark
terrible.
win, fire loses, and then that's all you have to. That's all I have to
Yeah,
say.
just that's a fair way to put it.
Yeah.
Kind of
Give me number
going.
2.
Yeah, oh, number two here. We talked about another one we talked about recently, just you and I privately, and it's one of my favorite new cards to play in Melfi Tri Brigade, the Fabled Unicorn. The
Mm.
unicorn, not unicorn, but it is a unicorn. And I feel like it's definitely, I think the hard part about it is actually getting it out because it's only a level 4 synchro and you need a Fabled tuner. But I mean, I guess in Melfi it's really cool because you can move cards off the field back into your hand to match hand size. So for anyone that doesn't know the effect,
Yeah.
while your opponent has the same number of cards in their hand, negate all spell, trap, and effect monster effects activated by your opponent and destroy that spell slash trap slash monster. 2300 attack on level 4 synchro. Need a Fabled tuner and then a non-tuner monster.
Mm.
So it's a little difficult to get out for sure. But I feel like there's that one fable that I run in there that's the fabled what the heck is his name? Crabula, Cerbella, blah, blah. You know what I'm talking about?
Cerberus?
It's a Cerberus, but it's like Cerbella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he only he comes out of his discard. So like if you have any any like deck that like sends a card from your hand and you just have it. When this card is discarded to the graveyard, special summon it. It's like a super easy just get out. So like I can imagine other decks that can discard cards or even putting a danger package in and being able to get that super quickly out
Mm,
as long as you can get another level 2 out there, which I
yeah.
don't think there's not a ton of level 2s, but I'm sure wouldn't be too hard. And then you have that out there, and your opponent literally gets negated probably one whole card, unless you can do something else
At
during.
minimum.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
I mean, you can
yeah, yeah.
definitely do something else, probably to get two out there. You'd have to be a little creative, but I think in the future this could be a super good card, and or is a super good card. But yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. It kind of loses the back row though, which sucks.
What do you mean?
Cuz like if you went first, made that uh and then I mean for instance, let's say you have 0 cards
Okay.
and then like let's say you played against a back row deck that just like set 5 instead of monster or something like that or like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On your draw you would immediately like not have uh the right hand size, you know what I mean? Cuz like I would have 0, you would have 1.
Hmm. That'd be
But
interesting. I guess
who's
that is.
really playing back? Who's playing back row?
Well, I wonder if you
If
like
you're
you could.
playing back row, fuck yourself.
It's Jesus. What you
Hate back row.
could do is run a lot of hand traps and then like try to get that
Yeah,
out
yeah, yeah.
and then start just pitching hand traps as your opponent tries to do stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know if how
I like that.
possible that would be, but um, yeah. So give me your number two.
My number 2 is again one that you've seen recently.
Mm.
Spell Canceller.
What? Oh God, that card.
It's just a level 5 machine that says
Hate spell
like
canceller.
negate the effects of all spells on the field or something like that. I think that's literally all it says.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, honestly, it just kind of it's best I think in like a pendulum deck or
Honestly,
something that like you just kind of like I don't know if they made a deck that fucking summoned level 5 machines from your hand or some shit other than Cyber Dragon, but like for free type deal. But yeah,
what?
like a pendulum deck, you can kind of like make it, and then it does suck in that instance though because it negates your pendulum effects. But like I think it's so good that it almost doesn't even matter if you were to like lose that. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Especially if you know you're playing it, you kind of play around it, playing traps and
sure.
monsters and stuff like that. Versus, but it's kind of one of those cards, just like dirty for no reason.
What deck were you playing that you Chris and
I
I
can't say.
recently played?
Can't say.
Oh, okay. Well, Chris
Yeah.
and I recently played, and he was playing a deck, and he was able to get Spell Canceller and Majesty's Fiend. Not
Yeah.
Majesty's, the other
No,
one.
it was no Majesty's Fiend. You're right.
Is it Majesty's?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It
Majesty's Fiend. And I was like, well, I think my only saving grace was I had a,
You had a
a
kaiju.
kaiju, so I was like, oh, well, that's fine. But I don't know how you. Otherwise, I'm not sure if there's any out to that. I think you're just it's game over at that
That
point.
was a really funny turn one. I was like,
So
I guess this is what I'm doing here.
Chris, that wasn't even the cards he wanted to run. He was going to put barrier statues in there. So, oh, lucky me.
Yeah, I
Um,
just threw them in there and they panned out.
hate you.
Granted, I fucking drew that card every game for like we did like 2 matches. I think I drew it every round but 1 or something like that.
Could you imagine if Spell Canceller was a level 4 or lower?
Oh my god. No.
But I mean, maybe just make it a level 4 or lower, but make it like a, I don't know, 1,000 attack, like a barrier statue, but spells. That'd be a cool cards.
Hmm.
It's barrier statues, but like spells and traps.
That would be really cool if they could be like a like barrier statue of the spellcasters or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, or like even effect monsters that are just like that, but makes your opponent like attack you first, so that before they can do anything on their turn.
That'd be interesting.
Kind of a, I
Okay,
guess, a different topic. But
hit me
third
with it.
card, you know this card very well, and maybe I don't realize how played this card is because I had only heard about it when I researched a deck that I made for you. But it is Metaltron, the 12th, the true Draco combatant.
That's so funny. I almost put that on.
It's such a strange card. I'd never heard of it until I was like making Chris weather painters, and it is super specific. But I think other decks could really benefit from it if there is another deck in the future that runs into or starts using continuous stuff. So the effect is requires 3 tributes to normal summon, cannot be normal set. To tribute summon all cards this card's face up. You can tribute continuous spells / trap cards you control as well as monsters. Unaffected by effects of cards with the same card type, monster, spell, or trap as the original card type of the cards tributed for this tribute summon. If tribute summon monster in its owner's control is destroyed by an opponent's card, by battle or card effect, you can special summon one fusion synchro or Xyz that is earth, water, fire, or wind from your extra deck. Absolutely bonkers. 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. Like I'm not sure what you could really ask for more. So Weather Painters just sets up a back row. Like, okay, I didn't draw anything but this, and spells and traps that are continuous. All right, I guess I'll just put this out there and see
Yeah,
what my opponent does.
so
Um,
good.
Absolutely amazing. I don't know what other than Weather Painters would really do super well with it, unless you made something like very homebrewed specific.
I mean,
Um,
True Draco,
oh yeah,
obviously,
True Draco, yeah, for the
but
actual
it
thing,
is a
but
bummer though that it takes 3, which is like
that
that's the
is the
only down.
killer.
3 cards is like, well, it's hefty.
And
But
could you imagine if it was a special summon and not a normal summon?
yeah, right. Oh my god,
Oh, Jesus
that'd be
Christ.
insane. That'd
Yeah,
be
so
fucking
that's
crazy.
probably
I
the
do like that
hardest
card.
part.
It's a fun card.
But I think if it's Chris has only pulled it out a couple times, but it's like a last resort card. So like, oh god, you're getting beat down, and Weather Painters they come back anyway. So just you could probably tribute them off and get that out there. Definitely a
Yeah,
one of, not more than that, I would say, but
yeah, I love
uh,
that card. That card's
pretty
cool.
cool.
Okay, my third one I
Mm-hmm.
think is a juicer.
Okay, a juicer,
Rekindling.
rekindling. What is that one?
Special summon as many fire monsters with 200 defense from your graveyard as possible.
Oh,
It's phenomenal.
oh.
Q-Tim Allen.
uh, huh.
I love that card.
What
Do I run
what
it in
is that?
anything?
I was gonna say, what would you use this with? This is definitely like a future card that could be abused, is what you're going for.
No. 100%. But fire monsters having 200 defense is a trend in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm,
So, I mean, if you look up fire and 200 defense on Omega, there's 4 pages alone
really?
of fire. Yeah, there's a ton of fire monsters. It's just a common thing. There's a ton of archetypes.
Well,
Uh,
you know what this reminds me of
mm,
is that the one that I
Soul
was talking to
Charge.
you about the other. What is that?
What is Soul
Oh,
Charge? Is that a
sorry. You said Soul Charge.
I was like,
I
what do you
honestly
mean?
did not hear you. No, I was talking about the one that's in that I use in Melfi Tri Brigade that for beast things. What the heck is that called? You can special summon 2 from the or 3 from the deck.
Oh, Obedient School.
Yeah, I feel like this would be very Obedient School wise, where like one archetype would come out that 200 defense is a thing, and then Obedient School. I feel like Melfi Tri Brigade became a huge thing, and it was like, all right, get a or not. What was it? Tri Brigade came out, and that was like a huge thing. Like it instantly got sales like way up there. Or I can't remember what
Yeah.
archetype originally came out that was Beast. It was like, oh god, everyone you need to get those, and then they had to reprint it. Um, I feel
Yeah.
like this would really fall into that.
Yeah. I mean, it's already good. There's a ton of archetypes that have 200 defense
Is it expensive?
in them. No, it's fucking cheap as hell. It's like pennies.
Well, the dual terminal copy is $3.95 on eBay. So, do
I have 3 copies.
you have dual terminal copies?
I don't know. I own
Well, I don't.
no Mystic Fighters.
Mystic Fires. Well, I've never heard of this card, but it is like kind of we were saying back to the fire discussion. I probably never heard of it because I don't have a single fire deck. I have
Yep.
nothing to do with fire.
I think I've only got 2.
What 2 fire decks do you have?
Salamangreat Metal Flows.
Forgot Metal Foes was one, and Salad I think is probably. I will say Salad's that's a fairly great deck, and I forgot that was fire.
Yeah. But
Did,
their stats don't have 200 though. They're not like they do have some 200 ones, but like it's not really a trend in Salamangreat, you know?
yeah. Huh. Well, you know what? Honestly, I'd be very curious. I want to watch this video. I just found one that's 4 ways to abuse rekindling, but it's July 2019, so I don't know what that would have to do with. But I'd be very curious to look at that.
Probably nothing important. I mean, honestly, its best use would just be probably like link spamming. Honestly, like imagine making like a link 4 or something like that, and then you rekindling and get 5 more out.
I guess that I'm curious. I'm like slightly going through this right here. What is he summoning? My God, he's just holy Lord. And yeah, he just basically got Boral Sword out with it. He just special summoned like a crap ton of things. It was like, oh, and Boral Sword.
Yeah, it's also not once per turn.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
This
it
could
does.
be really
I should say, it does also have the downside: banish them during the end phase of this turn. But as long as you get rid of the monsters before
just
the
link
end
them
phase,
off.
like link summon, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Who cares?
So, Yeah.
Damn, that'd be pretty. That's pretty zesty.
Yeah, I like that one. It's
I
a cool
could
one.
for sure see that getting like big.
What's your number 4?
Number
I just want
four.
to. By the way, I saved my favorite 2 for the end, just so you know.
I didn't do mine any random. I would say this is probably one that I love the most. And then the other one I don't. I just found it today and was like, that's interesting. But this one I use in one deck in particular, but I could see it being good in something else, I swear. Uh XYZ Reborn. I think this card is
Mm.
pretty zesty. It's a tech I use in Rika because a lot of the time, if you lose the card or if you need to tribute a plant to get one of the effects off, it's super helpful to get an Xyz back in the field that also has the material attached to it, to be able to just do it again, um, or get its effect off in the first place because you had to tribute it in the first place. I think you probably disagree with this one because I don't know. I can't think of any. It's probably too slow for anything, and you're anticipating losing a monster, but I think it
Yeah,
is super good in certain
not huge.
situations. Hmm?
I'm definitely not huge on it, but I see where you're coming from at least. But
Yeah, it's just slow. I mean, of course, it's a trap. There's nothing special about it other than the fact that you get the material for an Xyz monster. So I just was thinking of Xyz decks being super good, or I'm wondering if you could use it for like potentially like a Zeus or something like that, and getting a material already off. And I know you need two, but I'm wondering if you could at least get one on the board, one on it, and then try to get another one from its own effect adds one, doesn't it?
which card you talking about right
Zeus.
now? Oh, yeah. I always forget that has that effect. It's like during the end phase, like if a card you control is destroyed during the end phase, add one to it or something like that.
Yeah, it's some strange effect, but I wonder if you could like somewhat abuse it by losing that Xyz Reborn and then put something on there. There's definitely a weaker one, but I love this card, and it's kind of expensive for some reason. I don't really know why. It's the
Yeah, I
cheapest
was gonna
copy
say I
is
just looked it up. It's like,
340.
yeah, I just noticed that. I was looking it up.
Oh no, it's oh sorry. No, the cheapest copy is
Buck
165, but
60.
the other one is $3. I think I have the $3 one, but I don't know
To
why
be
it's
fair, the other one is like whatever you said, 160 for not near mint. So
I will
250 near mint.
I can't even. Well, maybe it's expensive because I don't even know what sets these are. I wasn't playing probably Wing Raiders and Order of Chaos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what sets those are, but I don't know. I
Wing
think
Raiders has Raid Raptors in it.
oh okay.
That's all I know.
Oh, I wonder that probably would have been good with Raid Raptors.
Yeah, probably. And the other one has has Insectors
Oh, whatever.
and Effect Veiler.
Oh,
Single Effect Veiler.
zesty. All right, give me your four.
Okay, my fourth is and the band played on.
I almost put that in.
I think it's a good card. It just I just tried to look it up to find it, and it's a drama. There's a drama called "In the Band Played On" featuring Steve Martin.
And I also did the same thing. I just typed it in,
Yes.
and there it comes.
It just says neither player can special summon monsters with the same level or rank as monsters they already control.
This would
So
be super cool.
pretty easy. You just really need a deck with all different levels. I mean, I wish I could think of a deck right now. I feel like I definitely own a couple decks that like all have different levels, but
I was thinking like Danger Dark World. Well, no, those are all eights. I was thinking you could probably do it with like. I definitely have a deck that I do all
yeah,
that's
I
all different
know.
levels because Cosmo. Ooh,
Yeah, Cosmo would be
Cosmo could rip that thing.
that'd be amazing in
Oh,
that.
maybe I
Yeah.
should tech that out. Tech that out.
um,
That's
I
yeah.
I feel like I have a deck too now, but I can't think of it. But
Probably. What's that one? God, you liked them for like a hot second, and now you think they're like dog shit. It's for hire. Is that all different?
Yeah, they are all different. I think.
Oh, also
Uh,
probably UA is
I don't
all
think
different, aren't they?
I don't think they're dog shit. UA's mostly different, so that would work in UA.
Minus the level 4, which you only want to do one level 4 though, don't you?
Yeah, you probably don't want both level 4s out,
Hmm.
but I
I could
mean
see this card
they
being good
can
though.
both be out, but whatever. Yeah, I like this card. Actually, I wonder if and the band play on would even matter in that level 4 thing because the UAs get rid of themselves to summon. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah, this reminds me
I
of
don't
those
feel like thinking
cards.
about it too much.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking like there can only be one and stuff like that, and the weird rule like even if you like you can't tribute it off, it like literally needs to not be on the field whatsoever before you even attempt to summon something. I wonder if it's like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know because it doesn't. I don't know. Somebody have to tell me.
So we'd have to say something, and who knows we'll get this far in the video.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my last one is something I just found, and I thought I was looking really perusing through the newest sets that have come out, and this one's in Battle of Chaos,
Okay.
and it's called Maple Maiden. I don't know if that's popular or not. And I
I've
don't
never
know
heard
if
of it.
I'm not sure if this is the first time it's ever come out. Wind monster,
I
synchro,
love it.
level 7. It's pretty easy then. This card is special summon. Declare one attribute. This card gains the following effect: all face-up monsters become that attribute. You can target one monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Your opponent must send one card from among its adjacent monster zones or spell and trap zones to the graveyard. Now, its second effect is fine. The part that I'm really interested in is that it can change everything's attribute on the field, because I'm
Yeah.
thinking of the abuse that this could cause with Super Poly. Like,
Oh,
or
yeah.
I feel like this could be an instant you put Dark on the field and then just start doing your Super Poly bullshit.
That's a pretty cool card actually.
And the fact that it's if you sort by cheapest cards in the most recent set, it's one of the cheapest ones. Um, and it's not hard to make. I mean, a generic one tuner, one non-tuner for 7. That's pretty easy.
Um, sorry, wanted to sign in TCG Player to fucking look up this card, and it wouldn't let me sign in, so I just like
I like
clonked out there for
I
a
like how
second.
you had to sign in there, but like you don't have to sign in to search things on TCG.
No, but I just was trying to sign in,
I was
and
signing in to buy it.
it's 3 cents.
I know it's super cheap. That's
Yeah.
direct by TCG. And I saw it and I was like, damn. I didn't even really care. But the other effect is like just an added bonus, I feel like. But the
No,
fact that
yeah, you're right. The
uh
other effect doesn't even matter.
like it really
Just a
could
cool one.
fix the idea. Like you could run your generic fusion stuff for Super Poly and then also run stuff to get this out. So if your opponent doesn't, I hate when I run Super Poly in certain decks and then I face a deck that I'm like, well, this is going to be absolute dog shit because I can't do anything. Like I'm wondering if this would be a good Lair of Darkness like add.
That could, well, probably not Lair of Darkness.
Well, yeah, because you already get everything as dark with Lair, but like
Yeah.
if you could run into the fact that because you're relying so much on it, if you can't get Lair out and you put that on,
Oh yeah.
and then your opponent gets rid of Lair, and then you also have this though.
Can you synchro in there?
I haven't really tried because there's nothing like this has ever really come out. I mean, now that Destrudo's a thing, I'm sure I could
Hmm. Oh, I forgot Destrudo was.
unbanned.
Yeah, I totally forgot that.
So
Wow.
now that that's a thing, I'm sure I could figure it out.
Dude, I should put Destrudo into my new Samorg
Really should put Destrudo
fucking
into
crazy
anything that you're
thing.
synchroing.
I just want you to know too that while looking it up, were you looking this card up earlier when you found that normal fusion monster thing?
Oh, it's in that same set, yeah,
Oh, it's in Battle of Chaos. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's
On
the
the bottom, it just said
Great
customers
Double.
also purchase. Yeah, and I found the great double caster caster.
Maybe we'll briefly talk about this because this is I thought this was going to be super cool, but it's not. The great double casted caster. It seems like it'd be really interesting, but it's not. I really thought this would be kind of abusable with Super Poly, but definitely not.
I think
Um,
that I can read it real quick. I have it up. It's a fusion monster, has 0 attack, 2 non-effect monsters to make it. It gains attack equal to the combined original attack of any ritual, fusion, synchro, exist, or link monster used as fusion material for this card. It can attack directly, and then if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target a non-effect monster in your graveyard or banish and special summon it. Um, honestly, I think this card could be really good in if you did like a Blue Eyes deck, but like a fusion Blue Eyes deck.
yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was
Because
like, damn,
if you could get 2 ultimates out, you would just OTK
yeah.
by attacking direct. Or you don't even really have to do that. Honestly, you could just do like a normal ultimate and uh like even just a Blue Eyes would get you to 7,500 damage. You know what I
Mm.
mean?
Well, I was just even
Like it's
thinking.
still good.
I'm wondering if it like would be at all good to do. Not maybe not. Even I was just thinking maybe like a one of for like um a Dark Magician deck, but I doubt that's probably useful whatsoever.
Real quick, I'm checking the Metalfoes fusion cards. I'm trying to see if I
Oh, I
think you have.
forgot. They're all, yeah, those are all.
Yeah, but all their fusions make you use. You can only summon Metal Foes fusion
Uh,
monsters with them.
so I guess you teched in poly, just normal poly.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a ton of things you could do. That you could do like ultra polymerization. That does. Come on.
Did I miss
Um.
something? Is there a doll deck? Is that a new thing? Did I miss?
We've talked about that. I think on the channel.
Did we?
Actually, as a matter of fact, we have cards in the archetype in a gameplay on the channel.
We do?
Yeah, from the Christmas video. It's like the
Oh, but these weren't
Geppetto or
out.
whatever.
These weren't out though.
They came out like they were coming out like a week after we made the video or something like that.
They're in this.
Oh, sure, they're in this. Whatever, they're out now. We made them in the
Christmas was
video.
Christmas. This came out like today. No, that'd be
No,
actually like
they've
last
had
week.
cards out for a while. I
Oh,
know.
maybe they had other cards, but yeah, I pulled one the other day. I was like, what the fuck is this? Zero
Okay,
attack, zero defense. What? You
you
got your
could
last
you
one?
could do this. No, I was gonna say for that fusion monster, you could use ultra polymerization with it to just make like whatever big monster or whatever you can do with it. But ultra polymerization, your opponent can't respond to it, and then you can banish ultra poly to summon the things you summoned back from your graveyard. But
Oh,
their attack becomes 0, which sucks. But then you can just like link them off again or something like that, or fucking fuse them again to make another one. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
that's that's an interesting idea. I don't know why you do that, but
Well, if you hard drew 2 ultra polys and like you did it with let blue eyes again, you know what I mean?
hmm.
Or as long as you could make over 2,000. Like
Yeah.
I realistically, if I drew 2 ultra poly in metal foes, that'd be easy because a lot of them have over 2K.
Hmm.
So
One other card
um
I just want you to look at in before you move on to the last card in Battle of Chaos. Have you seen Fire Opal Head?
yes.
What is the point?
Right?
I don't understand. 0/0, no effect, normal. It's like, why is this a card?
Yeah. I mean, it's a scale 0. That's not like the most common thing in the world.
You
So
know
it's
what?
actually
I,
not
I
awful in that regard, but
I challenge you to make a deck that wins with Fire Opal Head.
okay. I'll do it.
Okay, done deal.
I'll win.
All right, give me your last card.
My last card is
Mm-hmm.
again, you know it.
Mm-hmm.
Stained Glass Light and Dark.
Oh, I hate this card.
It's great, and you know it. For the viewers who are just ignorant and stupid,
Okay, Jesus.
came out in Burst of Destiny. Uh, apply any of the following. It's a trap card. Apply any of the following effects in sequence, depending on the types of effect monsters you control. If you have a fairy, you can draw 3 cards and place 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of the deck in any order. And if you have a fiend, you can make your opponent draw a card, then discard 1 random card. Then if they still have a card in their hand, they discard 1 card.
Absolute bullshit.
So
A -2.
yeah, I like it a lot. It's not even a -2, mind you. It's actually a -3
Because
if you
you
think
get
about
what?
it.
Because you get to draw one.
You get you get the 1. So the card advantage, your opponent ends up going down 3 in card advantage. But it's a great card. You get to fix your hands. I run this in Dream Mirror, and it's great because that fucking deck sucks dick, like drawing. So it helps you fix your hands. It helps you get rid of your opponent's shit. Just don't play it against Danger Dark World or you're fucked.
I was gonna say, I wonder if this would be good in Danger Dark World because those are fiends.
Are they fiends?
Yeah.
Oh, Dark Worlds are, not Dangers.
Yeah. Is there not some of the dangers, aren't they?
Dude, I don't know. You can't. It's fucking impossible to look up Danger on Google. That
Uh,
one's a fiend. Oh, they're all different.
oh yeah. Which one's the Chupacabra? Is that the only one that's a fiend?
Chupacabras. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
There's
it's the
actually
only
more
one.
beasts and reptiles, surprisingly. Actually, just beasts.
That's
There's more beasts.
Jackalope. Oh, Beast. Yeah, so you only get it off that, but for the Dark World stuff, those are all fiends.
Yeah, it's a great card. I like it a lot. It's also like the most gorgeous card in the world in real life.
That's
It's so
funny you say
pretty.
that. That's I don't know if that's 100% accurate.
It's 100% accurate.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I think it's the prettiest Yu-Gi-Oh card in the game.
That you really think that's the prettiest one? You'd say that's the prettiest card in the game?
Oh fuck yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Like
wow.
not even a question. It's gorgeous. I look at it next time you come over. It's fucking amazing.
I'm looking at it right now. I mean, I know I don't like that it's in. Isn't it only super rare printing?
Yeah.
I think that's my least favorite printing.
Uh, I mean, I don't really care. Like, I'm not yay or nay about super rares, but I think if it wasn't super rare, like if it was like a secret, I think it would be ruined because the art is just so good on it that if you had like all those lines on it, I think it would take away.
I think it's so funny that there was a period there that you became like a stickler for rarities. You're like, oh, I'm gonna, I want to upgrade all my rarities and whatnot. But now I feel like I have got become the stickler. I used to think that was so stupid, and now I'm like oh, the higher rarities. No, 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 I need them.
Still that way. I still prefer the high rarities. It's just that right now I can't afford to get the high
Oh
rarities
yeah,
for it.
same boat, same boat.
Yeah,
I was
but
really looking for this segment that we did. I was really trying to find a fusion card that already existed that was going to be super abusable um, with
why?
Despia coming out, or like Despia and the Albaz cards going a structure deck. Because I was thinking something along those lines that, like fallen something that would abuse super poly. I mean, of course, it'd just be super poly abuse, but something that you'd use to like counter your opponent's Albaz, because I'm sure that's going to get a ton of play.
Counter your opponent's Albaz. What do you mean?
Because half of them use Albaz as material, so you just have to something that would require Albaz or use Albaz. I guess you could just do the normal stuff because it's a dark monster, but I was just trying to find something that was like also uses their fusion, the things that they use or things they make with Albaz and like the level 5 or higher or the dragon monster that you need to make those fusions, the Despia cards. I was trying to find something that would counter people making those things, but I couldn't find anything.
Wh- Is you wanted a fusion that would counter?
It was more for like Super Poly, like something to Super Poly into using their monsters that they would make, because I think that's going to be a big deck soon with the structure deck coming out.
I don't think that's going to be the way people are going to counter it.
Well, no, I know. I was just trying to find something that could like you could abuse, like, oh man, this is going to come out, like you wait until your opponent makes this and then just get rid of it with this.
Why wouldn't Why wouldn't you just also run the Albaz fusions?
You could, I get. Well, no, you couldn't. I don't
Yeah,
think
you
you could
can.
do that, can you?
Yeah, you could. Your opponent activates it, and then you just respond to Super Volley.
Oh, what reuses the like? Oh, it uses Albaz and Super Poly the Albaz thing. You could
Yeah,
do that.
you would just put like your own Albaz fusion monster in the
I guess that would be the
card.
an interesting way to
card.
counter it.
I Yeah, that's what I would do, or just like what's a card? Dimensional barrier.
Ooh, that could be interesting. You know, another card I debated on putting in this list is that card that everyone thought was going to be really good in Danger, or I mean not in Danger, in Grenmaju, the Banquet card.
Oh yeah, ban- uh,
It's like
what's it called?
Banquet of Millions.
Yeah.
Banish any number of cards from your extra deck face down and banish the same number of random face down cards from your opponent's extra deck face up until the end phase. You can only activate one of these once per turn. Uh, I thought this some I used to run this for like a second, and then it's just it's too slow. And if you don't get the right cards to do it, then it's like okay, well I'm screwed. So
Is it too slow? Why is it
uh,
too slow?
that's because if you
Despite being
an OTK
like,
deck, so you'd have to go if you wanted to go second, you'd have to set this.
yeah, but wouldn't you just why wouldn't you just side deck this in like round two? You're gonna go first.
You could
Set
side
it.
deck this in, but then I
The
think
second your opponent draws, just activate it.
true, but I feel like half the win on my Grand Mod, at least in my Grand Module build, half the win is like also using the extra deck. Like because a lot of the time it's like, okay, I never ran into Grand Module, I banished it. Fuck me. I guess I'll go and try to do some level 8 turbo or do something
I
else.
I get what you're saying, but that doesn't matter if your opponent had an empty board, right? Like if you activated this on your opponent's draw phase, realistically, what's your
And I
opponent
went
gonna do?
first.
Yeah, like if you activate this in your opponent draw phase, they're not gonna have extra deck for the turn. So realistically, they're like setting and passing, and then at that point, your Grenmaju already has
Well, I'm wondering
6,000 attack.
the problem though runs into like you need to get the Grand Module. So like that's That's the only issue. That's the problem with Grid Magic. Like you have to rely on if you don't get Grid Magic, which half the games. How many games do we play together? And I swear to God, I never get it. Or you just like once you know I'm playing Grid Magic, you negate that one summon or make sure that one monster doesn't go through, and it's like okay. So I a lot of the time I'm relying on everything else to do it. Like
I
I think
guess so, but I feel like that would still be a better going first card than.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's in my side deck. I have it ready to get. Like it's with the deck at all times. But I just don't run it in the main process because like I
I'm gonna
just
start siding in magic cylinders against Grandmaj.
piss off.
Just watch you fucking cry.
I will say there was one card I expected you to put on your list because we talk about it all the time as being like, oh, this card could be so good.
What card?
Do you have any guess at all? It's a trap card.
Rap card. Titanicider?
Oh no, but I that's another good one. I have one of those. A little too specific for me. It's just there's better options than that one.
I'm not sure.
Sales pitch.
Ah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah, I mean,
I like that one
we
a
can
lot.
still talk about it right now. I mean, it wasn't on my list, but sales
I mean,
pitch.
I don't even gotta look it up. It just says when your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand, you get to also do the same.
Yeah, but it's not a counter, so it's slower. And isn't there some
Well,
other
it being a
caveat?
counter doesn't make it slower, but
What do you mean? What?
like it doesn't. It's still a trap. It's not like it's slower because it's not a counter
Can't you
trap.
miss timing though for it?
Uh, not really. I don't. I cannot think of a card that would like miss timing on it. It'd have to be like insanely specific.
I
The
well,
only
I,
time you'd miss timing is if your card text literally said like, add this card from deck to your hand, and then immediately after you do that, do blank. That's like the only time you would miss timing.
this is an interesting. I don't know who this person is, but I just saw this on a Google search, and it says it's the picture of sales pitch, and then it's someone quoted next to it. Whoever Kelly Locke is, do you know who that is?
Nope.
It says sales pitch uh, generated a lot of discussion at my sneak peek. Searching any card from your deck is powerful, but what card makes a big enough difference to warrant sales pitch?
I don't like.
I always thought Granmaju would be good in Granmaju, but still,
Yeah.
another
I
one.
mean,
It's like you have to wait until the next turn, so you're gonna have to survive. Game's too quick. I feel like now to like hopefully you survive. That you have to let this sit here, and then next turn you'll be able to get something that your opponent knows you're gonna get.
no, I don't. I don't think. I still think it's wicked good. Honestly, I really don't think you could convince me that there's a million cards that that is great for. I mean, Regeki, Lightning Storm if you had nothing else, Super Poly, I mean, like you said, Grandmaju, any card that's just not searchable in general. I mean, you could. It's literally just searches any monster you want. You can search a kaiju. Uh, fuck it. You could search Raw Sphere mode. Tribute 3 monsters that your opponent controls. They can't do anything about it.
It is an interesting card.
Harpy's Feather Duster. There's a million. Dare I say, a zillion cards. That's right. I pulled out the Z. Zillion.
There's so many cards with the pot guy that I like blows my mind. When we made that video about the pot of greeds and like the different pot cards,
Mm-hmm.
we I feel like we missed so many.
That's okay. Can we make a cover of NWA's Dope Man, but change it to Pot Guy, and it's all about pot of greed?
I'm gonna disappoint you right here, Chris. I don't know that song.
That's fine. Can we still do it?
Sure, I guess if you
Cool.
want to take the creative liberties on that,
Cool.
can you write that up this week and I'll put it in the video?
Yeah, of course, the whole version.
Mm-hmm.
We got to meet up though and record it.
Oh, gotcha. We'll get that done. Anyways, that's our video for today. If you like it, like it. If you don't. That's fine.
Let us know if there are any cards that you think are
Oh
underrated.
yeah, you got any good tech cards for us to put in some stuff, or any cards you're like, damn, this is gonna be zest in the future. Just you wait, buy it. A lot of I don't know about yours, Chris, but a lot of mine I would consider like kind of penny stocks in a way. I mean, maybe not XZ's Reborn, that was kind of expensive, but all the other ones I think I listed are pretty cheap if you just want to pick them up.
Yeah, I think all mine are cheap. I mean,
I don't know. I can't. No. Oh, Madome Materials $5.
yeah. I think all. I don't think any of mine are over $1. Was Rekindling over? No, Rekindling's not over $1. I don't
No,
think.
I don't think so. There's quite a few times. The
The only
dual
one I
terminal one was
technically
expensive.
don't know is "And the Band Played On," but I think it's a
No,
comp.
that has to be cheap. No way.
Yeah, I think it's like dirt.
You could go outside and pick up a rock and get it would be more worth it.
For real. That thing
Anyways,
sucks.
thanks for coming. We'll do another one next week. We like the podcast. I don't care what you like. I'm just gonna keep doing them this way, even though it's not how you're supposed to do YouTube, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Let us know if there are any cards you like.
Yeah, okay, bye.
Every card you like, let us know.
No, yep, yep, yep.